There he is. They're fast, I'll give them that. So do you remember as a kid when you used to play in the mud puddles and help them drain? I don't know if you did that or not, but I definitely did, and I remember that. And now I know it was all in preparations for days like today, because I have a puddle pretty much right next to my steps, and I am trying to get it to drain away as much as possible because I have a lot more in the ground right there. There's a lot more snow and ice that needs to melt, and it's just going to make this puddle bigger if I don't get it to drain away. So that is what I am going to do for the next little while, is just play in the mud. I hope I can find that inner child and bring that little inner child back out, because I used to really enjoy doing this, playing in the mud. Just get it to drain off as much as possible. Good thing about my property is most of it is a downhill slope. So once I can get it moving, it moves pretty well. It likes my tire ruts. It's puddling up right there a little bit. But if I just help it along, the more of that water I can get rid of. That got a good flow going. The more of that water I can get rid of, the less mud I will have to deal with. I have the supervisor out here making sure I'm doing a good job, because there's one thing she hates, is putting her feet in the mud. She will not step in that mud. But she's out here observing, telling me to hurry up, get this stuff gone so we can play. Yep, that's kind of what I'm doing. What a lazy day it is. But that's a good Sunday, it's a lazy day. Everybody needs a one day to recuperate. Especially after cutting trees down. And I didn't even do it for very long yesterday. But I wore myself out pretty hard. Yesterday, slogging through the snow, I think, is the worst part about it. Because I think once the snow's gone and I'm not post-holing my way in, and I'll show you what post-holing means. I'm gonna go do it right now on some of the snow that I have here, just to show you. And so when you're walking in the snow like this, and you're walking on the top of it, and you sink in, and you sink in again, and you sink in again. Oh, and then you're able to get back up on top. Post hole number 1, post hole number 2, post hole number 3. And this is in about 1.5 feet of snow. Now imagine that in 3.5 feet of snow, where when I sink down in, carrying a chainsaw with my helmet on, I'm already carrying extra weight because I have the shaps on as well, so they fill up with snow. Every time you post hole, a little bit of that snow gets in between your pants and your shaps, and then it melts because you're giving off heat off of your body, and so those shaps get cold, they get wet and cold. So you do that for any length of time, and my feet were cold after about 4 hours. My feet were freezing cold. My pants were all wet, and so I gave up. Yeah. I wish I could have done it for an 8-hour period of time, but I did it as long as I could. And when I couldn't feel my feet anymore, I figured it was time to give up. I don't want to hurt myself. But that is post holing right there, and you're sinking in all the way down to your hip, at least in that area. See right there though, your shoes fill up with snow. That just helps to get your feet cold. And once your feet are cold, you're pretty much done. At least I am. But in my driveway, I do have a nice little river going. Happy about that. Just continue to play in the mud. And, oh yeah, and by the way, I stopped at the store today after church, and I did my $1 a day prepping. So maybe we should get into that really quick, and I can show you what I found. Keone is in search of a good deal. Huh, Keone? You in search of a good deal? Well, let's show the people what deal we found today. Okay, this is going to be $1 a day preps for weeks number 42, 43, 44, and 45. So that's 4 weeks worth of $1 a day preps. And if you remember, in the last $1 a day prep, we had $3.95 left over. And we're going to add $28 to that. So that gives us $31.95, which is just about how much I spent on this amount of food. So I got 2 bags of flour, 6 jars of pasta sauce, 12 cans of Italian-style diced tomatoes, and 1 bag of rice. Every time I go to the store, I like to buy 1 bag of rice. It might be that all I'm eating in the end is bags of rice and beans, but I want to keep getting them. So my idea here is I have onions that I have dehydrated with my dehydrator that I got a good deal on. And the pasta sauce, the tomatoes, and the flour. If need be, I can use the flour to make the noodles, because the spaghetti noodles are getting so expensive. $2.99 for 1 pound of elbow macaroni, or just regular 1 pound spaghetti noodles, $2.99 a pound. And that was the cheapest that I found at the store today. I didn't even bother picking any up, because that's just, we might end up having to make our own. So yeah, here pretty soon. I mean, the food's getting so expensive, you might not be able to afford the stuff you're used to eating. So I say get it now while you can still afford it. If it'll store for any length of time, just get it now. So my spaghetti sauce, December 15th of 23 for the tomato and garlic. And there was another, I got the garden combination, and it's December 15th. The tomatoes will store until January 20th of 2024. I can store the rice for 30 years with my oxygen absorbers and plastic bottles. I'll just store the rice in there. And if you don't like the plastic bottle idea, you can always use your canning jars with the oxygen absorbers. I just don't want to. The plastic bottles are free, and I only have a limited amount of canning jars, so I do not want to use the canning jars. I would rather use the canning jars for canned goods. And the flour is good till March. Let me flip it around here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's March 14th, 2023. So the flour is good for almost a year still. So that'll definitely be gone way before then. And with the prices the way they are, with the way wheat and everything, this flour is going to get to a point where I don't think we can afford it, just like you pretty much can't afford spaghetti noodles, or I can't afford spaghetti noodles at the price they are now, or I choose not to spend my money on it. Just eating more and more into my food budget with the higher prices. So let's get into the numbers really quick. So for the flour, I paid $2.99 for a 5-pound bag, and I got 2 of those bags. For the rice, I paid $3.69, which means that it has gone up by 20 cents since the last time I purchased it. I purchased a bag not too long ago in my last payday prep, and it went up 20 cents since then. The Ragu pasta sauce was actually on sale. Pretty good sale. I got it for $1.99 each, but you had to get that good sale. You had to buy 6 jars, at least 6 jars or more, to get the good deal. And that is one of the reasons why I believe it makes us look like hoarders when we're buying all of this spaghetti sauce that most people are just buying 1 or 2 and that's it. And the deals, the way you get the good deals is if you buy 6 or more. And the diced tomatoes, the way you get the good deal is if you buy 4 or more. You have to buy 4 of them to get the good deal or more. And I bought a flat, 12 of them. And for the tomato, the diced tomatoes, it's right there. I had $9 for that flat, which makes it 75 cents a can. So that is my $1 a day preps for the week. Remember, I said I had $31.95 that I could spend, and including the 77 cents that they took for taxes, $31.38 is what I spent. So going into next week, going into the next $1 a day preps, I will have Thank you for watching this edition of Not So Remote Alaska. And until next time, may God bless and keep each and every one of you. And with that, I'm out.